Yes, sir. We are ready to go. Yes, sir. Okay.
Starting lineup for the Greenwood Bulldogs. Starting in center field, number 3, Caden Brown. Starting in right field, number 20, Chance Oak. Starting at first base, number 12, Matthew Monday. On the mound today for the Bulldogs, number 25, Landry Juriga.
Okay.
Designated hitter, number 18, Andrew Elliott. Starting at second base, number 4, Reed Carroll. Starting in left field, number 23, Luke Brewer. At shortstop, number 26, Bryce Morgan. Third base, number 10, Aiden Weaver.
And hello again, Bulldog fans, and we welcome you to Bulldog Diamond here on the campus of Greenwood High School. Tim Terry with you. Greenwood baseball on Tuesdays. We love it on Tuesdays. Russellville Cyclones in town for some 5A West action. We'll jump right into the national anthem right here. Beautiful day for baseball. Just a few scattered clouds kind of here and there, but the forecast is straight up Joe Nichols, sunny and 75. That's what I'm talking about. Wind blowing out of the southeast about 9 miles an hour, similar to what it was last Tuesday when the Bulldogs split with the Greenbrier Panthers in the first conference opener for both squads. Russellville likewise split their conference opener with Van Buren last Tuesday, so both teams 1-1 in conference. The Cyclones 4-5 overall, and Greenwood 4-2 overall. So we will get a chance here to see the Cyclones, who usually bring a pretty good squad on the baseball diamond year in and year out. That's one of their strong suits, would be their baseball program. Probably been the most consistent over the years. And a man that knows a little bit about that program is joining us now in the broadcast booth. And my old college roommate, Mr. Curtis Keith Holt.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Unbelievable, man. What do you know? Nothing?
Well, Russellville's best pitcher, he's out. They've sidelined him, so he's not going to be pitching, supposedly. So that kind of bodes in their favor. He's an Arkansas commit.
Yeah.
Throws it upper 80s, low 90s. So
that helps.
Yeah. So, but, Greenwood's thing's been hitting anyway. Doesn't matter who they face. They've got to hit, and if they're going to be successful and be in the top 3 of this conference, they're going to have to start hitting the ball.
I agree. They didn't have their batting stats entered after the Red Oak win, but they were batting as a team right at the Mendoza line going into that game. And I think they obviously beat Red Oak 7-4, so they rattled out a few hits during that ball game. But so I didn't get a good updated stat. At least I couldn't find it on their game changer. But we will keep up. And you're right, though, Keith. You got to find somebody who can hit. And obviously, you can't just swap out defense for offense in baseball. So you got to balance a good fielding glove with a good bat and find the best 9 out there. So far, let's see what the boys can do here. Like to Have to get a home sweep here. Got to protect this home field. Jerica's up on top for the Bulldogs and the K-State commit. And the first one's a called strike on the outside black, and that's Luke Ray. He is their second baseman. A right-handed batter. That one maybe just upstairs, 1-1.
First time I've seen Jerica throw 2 fastballs.
Yes, I agree with that. You good?
Yeah, his slider is what his pitch is. Just a sec.
The 2-1 was lifted into center field where he's out. That's Brown out there in center.
Can you hear me now?
No. We'll get to you in a minute. Keith's here, I promise.
There it is.
Yeah, got you, baby. So 1 out here in the top of the first. We'll finish your point after this pitch, Keith. It's Brady Burnett.
There it is.
He's their shortstop. That's in there for a called strike.
And that's the slider. I mean, that's his pitch. When he paints it on the outside corner, he's unhittable.
We saw that against Greenbrier last week. Fouled one straight back and way ahead now 0-2 for their shortstop, Burnett. That's Hayden Weaver at third base for Greenwood. Bryce Morgan's at short. Reed Carroll is at second base. And the flowing locks of Matthew Monday over at first base. Outside the dirt, Strozier's behind the dish. The battery mate for Jerica, Landry up on top. Looks like Luke Brewer out in left field. Caden Brown plays center, and Chance Ove out in right. Got him. Backwards K just froze him up on some gas right down the middle.
And you like to see that from Jerica. He's, upper 80s and mid to upper 80s. And when he's painting the corners, again, that's what sets up the slider, and you just can't hit that at the high school level.
Here is their DH, Shane Bucher. Was it? Yeah. Bucher?
Bucher, yes.
And the first one to him is outside ball 1. Bucher's the DH, another right-handed bat. Jerica has a little shoe problem. You got to tie the old left shoe.
Greenwood field looks really good.
Yes.
There it is.
Coach Mercado, an awesome job of field maintenance, among other things.
I love how Mercado lets the catcher call the game. He's able to get a feel, they're able to work faster.
One-two to Bucher. That one's off the fist right at Carroll at second. Oh, he dropped it. Carroll nonchalanted it, and the error is going to cost him an out. That's tough. Oh, boy. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt the Bulldogs, and Bucher's going to ROE.
Can you hear me now? There you go. Back to what I was saying about he trusts the catcher enough to call him, and he works with the catcher on what to call, when to call it, and it allows the pitcher to get in a rhythm.
Here's Tristan Wheelis swinging a miss to their third baseman. Oh, 1, 2 outs here. An error. And the right-handed batting Wheelis lifts this one foul out of play over the top. Again, Jerica's ahead. And as a pitcher, Keith, you just kind of got to shake off a routine error and hopefully come get this batter. That's tough.
Yeah, and now the hardest thing now in the high school level is the pitch count, and that saves his pitch count. He may throw an extra 3 or 4 pitches here, but if you do that a couple times a game, then the pitch count gets up there.
That's a great point. 0-2. That one bounced in. Strozier did a great job of knocking it down, keeping the runner at bay. Softball going on out across the outside the center field fence. Russellville Lady Cyclones and the Lady Bulldogs getting fired up. Full roster now, unfortunately, as the basketball girls get to join the softball team now. Quite a few of them, as a matter of fact. That's in there for a called strike. So a couple of backwards Ks got around the error. And Russellville did leave a man on base. Half an inning in the books. Bulldogs come to bat, no score. Greenwood baseball on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. I don't know which side. Give me a minute, please. I'm not sure which side it's on. I don't know how far I can get this to move. For a minute. I feel like it's right in that area. That's what I was holding when he was on for a while. Now he's out.
Coming and going.
It's like a mute button.
There it is.
We are back here in Greenwood, Arkansas. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Sometimes got a little problem with the headset or maybe a mic. I don't think it's in our connection. We'll get things figured out. Top of the half of the inning, Bulldogs made quick work of it. One little error there snuck in there on us, but dodged the bullet. The Bulldogs will come to bat, and they'll face Ty Hips, a right-handed pitcher for the Cyclones. Little Stevens back there behind the dish. Of course, Keith and I went to college with his dad, Bobby Stevens.
Leading up for the Bulldogs, the center fielder, number 3.
Well, the key is for Greenwood to get base runners. It doesn't necessarily have to be a hit.
Yep.
You know, Coach Mercado teaches you out of the box, you're going for a double, you're going to stretch it, and then you're hunting bases. Anything you can do to move up. So Greenwood just needs base runners.
And Caden Brown will start it off, the right-handed batting center fielder for the Bulldogs. Caden's a senior, heading to UCA down in Conway to play some baseball. And the first one from Hips is lifted in the air to center field. It's going to be a run and a good job of getting there in time. Well, the left fielder came over and snuck in and made the play. That's Wilkins had a beat on it, and Golden says, I got it.
Nobody told him the center fielder's supposed to take that, did they?
I guess. So officially an F7. Here's Chance Oaf now.
Golden,
Greenwood's
just
right
a
fielder.
little bit on Golden. He just accepted a position at West Point.
Yeah, Air Force, Army?
Air Force. I
One
believe.
Air Force, yeah. Yes, sir, saw that. Fantastic. Here's Oaf, a left-handed bat, a senior. He's going to Arkansas Tech, speaking of Russellville. And that one's high, 2-0.
Easiest pitch after one pitch, one out is that next pitch by the pitcher because you're technically supposed to take so you don't have two pitches, two outs.
Right. That's upstairs.
And then he goes 3-0.
Yeah. Talk about Golden. He looks to be super shallow and left, and maybe I'm just.
No, he is.
Yeah, but for the left-handed bat and a 4-pitch walk. We'll take that. There you go, Keith. You wanted base runners, you got them. Here's Monday now. Matt Monday at the first baseman, a right-handed bat. He's in the 3-hole. If you remember last week, he was in the 4-hole, but Jerica wasn't batting. Jerica fighting off a little bit of
back problems.
Yeah, a little ailment. But he's seemingly better and in the lineup. And that's a good thing for Greenwood because he definitely has. He's definitely one of those guys that's got a good bat.
Yeah, I've been watching him for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been playing since he was a freshman and getting some time in the lineup, and he definitely makes a difference with his stick.
Yes, they throw over and Oaf's back in head first safely. From the stretch now, Hips up on top. Monday digs in. He'll come home with it. That one's over. But nope, it is at the knees. Called strike. A little 7-iron action.
That was low.
I thought it was too. Here's the 0-1 to Monday. Hips will peer over and check on Oaf, and now he'll bring it home from the stretch. Monday lifts one a mile high, but it's pulled foul over into Smith-Robinson Stadium, and he's in the hole now 0-2.
I think it's probably the safe as far as the power goes. Monday's got the most. I mean, when he swings, he's swinging to hit it out in the pines,
Yes.
which you call 9 pines.
Right, because there's 9 of them.
9.
Yeah. And Hips throws over again, and Oaf's in safely. That is Whitford over there holding him on, the first baseman for Russellville. Greenwood's in all white today with the blue pinstripes. Navy blue numerals front and back, and navy blue G over the left breast. Russellville with white trousers. They've got black tops And Cyclones is written in cursive in red across the front. Red numerals front and back. They're trimmed in white. The numerals are in the Cyclone cursive script. A throw over again. Oaf's in there safely, getting those uniform nice and dirty. Monday lifts this one to center. And on his horse, heading back towards the fence, is out. That time Wilkins there. No chance for Golden to come rob him of that one. He gave it a ride, but to no avail, and it's 2 down.
If there was a warning track, he'd have been on it when he caught it.
Yes. Right in front of the conference champions banner wall out there, and Farmers Bank logo.
You know, baseball, I'm sorry.
Don't go, baby.
Baseball is trying to make it to where it's easier to steal bases. You know, they're experimenting in the minors with 18-inch bases. They're going to increase the bases to where there's more room, which is going to make it, of course, shorter from first to second.
Okay. Well, that's great. I want everybody to get a trophy, and I want participation to be at an all-time high. Drika swinging a miss, strike one. He's the Bulldogs pitcher, right-handed bat. 2 down here. Both teams got a base runner on. Russellville's reached by error. Oath got on with a 4-pitch walk. They throw over, and he's barely got in that time. Throw over quickly again. Oath's in there. Dropped the ball, actually. Did Whitford. Hips up on top from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 to Jerica. That's ripped, pulled foul right through the nasal of Mercado. A nice bit of the Matrix. Kind of looked like Neo over there getting out of the way of that thing.
Oh, for sure. Well, he's got his stopwatch in his pocket. Hips is pretty quick to the plate. I mean, that's one thing you look at is how quick is the catcher, but the other thing is how quick, and he's slide stepping, and Oaf just doesn't have enough time to make it. I mean, you don't even have to be good to get a base runner out if you're quick with the pitcher and the catcher.
Here's the 0-2 now. Hips up on top from the stretch. Checks on Oaf at first. He throws over. He's in there safely. Bulldogs in the first base box. Russellville in the third base box. 365 to dead center here at Greenwood's. 321 down the right field line. 317 down the left field line. Here's the 0-2. Right back up the box, and it's going to be a base hit. For the good base running. He'll go first to third. They're going to throw over, but to no avail. And Jerica, as the ball got past the third baseman, Jerica will ease on up to second. And it's a single, possibly an error. We'll see what happens with Jerica. If he gets around to home, I would say we'd consider that an error, letting him move up, depending on how he gets here.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think it was a good piece of hitting because it was an off-speed pitch, and he kept his hands back, and he didn't try to do too much and just hit it right back up the middle.
Here's Drew Elliott, the designated hitter. Austin Mitchell will come in and run for Jerica, courtesy running. Elliott, he's the DH, not in the field, so that means you're designated to hit. So let's see if Elliott can get a bat on the ball here. Get this thing going. That's one he'll like right there down the middle, strike looking. Good pitch from Hips. Elliott is senior. Greenwood with an opportunity here in the bottom of the first, second and third. 2 outs, though. There's a ball chopper to third base. Nice Sunday hopper off the front of the base. Over to first base. Pulled the first baseman, but he makes the play wheeless over to Whitford. Yeah, it's a 5-3 on the putout.
And keep up with left on base. That's one thing Greenwood can't do. You got 2 on base, and you got to move them around. Oak did an excellent job of getting to that extra base, but you got to figure out a way to get them in.
1 hit in the inning, 2 left on base, no errors. We played 1 inning of baseball here in a 5A West battle. The Bulldogs and the Cyclones live in Greenwood. We'll take a break. No score on Greenwood Sports Center and the Sports Hog 103.5. 30 seconds is fine. Yeah, had a little. I think that we found the problem was it in your side. Okay, had a little short in the trunk.
They're also supposed to work on
No, you're fine. Yes, sir.
They're experimenting with a pitcher not stepping on. You have to step off the rubber. You can't just pick. You have to step off the back
and throw. Right. We are back here in Greenwood. Keith, you were giving me a little ruling seminar there at the break.
Well, Major League Baseball is experimenting at the lower levels with. They want more base runners. They want more stolen bases, and They just want it to be more exciting. So, some things they're experimenting with is a pitch clock. Pitcher has so much time to get on the rubber, and they're going to take away the ability to just pick that you're going to have to step off the back of the rubber now, which, of course, is going to be easy for the base runners. They're going to be able to get bigger leads.
Sure.
And the bases are going to be bigger at some levels, increase them by 3 inches. So, Major League Baseball wants to see the games go faster and more runs being scored because they watch other sports and how exciting it is. People love offense, even though defense wins championships, right?
Right,
But
they do.
They want to see offense. We want to see offense today.
Well, as long as there's a guy behind the plate calling balls and strikes, I don't care what they do. The robotic strike zone, don't tell me about a consistent strike zone. That's part of the game. It's the beauty of it. I mean, people want to complain. Not everybody needs to get a trophy. Some people need to complain, like me. Like the fat people, we need to complain. That's called strike to hips.
Well, a lot of the valuableness of a catcher is him being able to frame that low pitch, make it look better than it really is.
Exactly. Hips, the 0-1 or the 0-1's fouled out of play. Right-handed batting, Ty Hips, their pitcher. Jerica has been fantastic so far, just peppering the strike zone. Here's the 0-2. Jerica kicks and fires. Curveball, just a little flare over the third baseman, and it's a base hit into left field.
I bet he wishes he had that pitch back. That was supposed to be on the outer half and got in on his hips, and he just muscled it to left field.
Got it on hips, did it?
Hips.
Here's Braden Whitford, their first baseman. Number 13's going in to run for the pitcher. I don't know if we have a name for 13. Courtesy runner. But it is 13. No for Russellville. Here's Jerica. Whitford now, right-handed bat. One on, nobody out. He squares to bunt and is fouled right back at the netting. Do you see that, Keith? I've been working on it over the offseason, not flinching.
I talk about you all the time with those balls, especially sitting right behind the net.
Yeah. I reached out to catch that one. I didn't even flinch. I would have had it too, by the way.
You've progressed light years.
Thank you. I used to run and hide from foul balls that came straight back.
You fell out of your chair one time, I'm pretty sure.
I did fall out of my chair once. There was like 3 nets, a glass, and something else. And I still ran for the hills. Here's the 0-1 now to Whitford. They throw over. Monday holding the runner on over, the courtesy runner. Did we get a name for 13? John Reed. Yes, thank you. Here's the 0-1. Jerica checks the runner, brings it home. That one's fouled up over the top and out of play.
See, and as a coach, you got to have a philosophy early. It's kind of like a blackjack, either hitting on 16 or standing every time, doing it consistently. He's trying to bunt at first to try to get that runner over. You're playing for 1 run. If you let him hit, you're playing for multiple runs. And I like to go for it.
Money
play
ball
for that
right
big
there.
game.
Sure.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's what Terry Francona did with that 04 Red Sox team, if I recall.
Don't bunt.
Didn't give up the out. This one's in the air, and let's see if we can make a play. Jerica's off the mound, but no, Weaver comes to take over, and he makes the play. Good job from Hayden, the third base. Out number 1. Here's Brent Stevens, their catcher, wearing the Stevens number 10, as you would expect. Right-handed bat. We'll have to go down and see if Bobby's around. Hopefully he brought us some Firehouse subs since he's the owner. If not, we'll have to have a discussion with Mr. Stevens. 1 down here in the top of the second, no score. Jerica brings it home, and that's right in there for a called strike.
That's one thing with Jerica we used to talk about with Nolan is he's going to be around the plate. I mean, he's not going to be missing it by more than a few inches, so go up there and take swings.
0-1, Jerica peeks over and comes home. This one's right up the box. Can he get to it? He can, a base hit. But the runner stopped halfway there, and he'll be forced out at second. Oh, a running gaff from John Reed. Didn't get a good read on the pitch. It fell in front of Brown. He just threw to second. It's a 8-4 putout.
He had to have lost it. He had to thought that maybe it was up in the air and the center fielder was going to catch it because he completely stopped halfway.
Yeah. So Stevens singles. The catcher is going to get a courtesy runner as well. Number 16.
And in a conference game where the score is 0-0 and you got Drake on the mound, you cannot have base running errors.
Trey Potter is the courtesy runner. A left-handed bat, that's through the 5-6 hole. I'll be darned. Got out into left field. We've got a 2-out single for Jeremy Wilkins. He's their center fielder. Good bit of hitting there. First pitch swinging, huh?
Well, they're going right out the bottom. That's the bottom of the lineup, and you're taught to go right at him, and he did, and he just put a good bat on it. 3
hits in the inning. Here's another lefty, Finley Golden. He's their left fielder. He bats in the 9 hole. First and second, 2 down though, and Jerica up on top from the stretch. And he'll bring it home. Wow.
That looks like the same pitch on Monday.
Ball 1. Whew. Here's the 1-0. Jerica peeks back at second. Comes home with it. That one's fouled out of play over towards the football stadium. 1-1. Top of the second, no score. Russellville with 2 men on here. They've had 3 hits. And the courtesy runner cut down, base running gaff on a fly ball to center. Here it comes. That's inside, got away from Strozier, and everybody will move up a bag. 2-1.
And the slider, that's the toughest pitch, especially the outside slider, because it's already spinning that way. And if you don't get your hips around that ball, it's going to do exactly what it did and squirt out to the right side. And Strozier did all he could do to keep that in front of him.
2-1. Golden crowds the plate, the left-handed bat, and Jerica up on top, and he'll come home with it. That one's chopped foul over to the Greenwood dugout. Mercado will make a play on it. 2-2 the count.
And you think with a runner at second, he's going to try to score because with 2 outs, he doesn't have to freeze to make sure it's down or anything. He's going to be going on contact. So if it's to the outfield, there'll possibly be a play at home.
2-2, 2 outs, second inning. Deuce is wild. Here it comes from Jerica. He'll come home with it. Strozier set up way outside, and Finley just got a piece of it to stay alive. Pretty good job there of batting, stay alive. It was going to be a ball, I think, but too close to for comfort. Finley digs in. Jerica, deep breath up on top. Shake off, now ready. And he'll kick and fire. There's a little chopper towards third. Carroll a chance to make amends. Nice job. The throw was off the line a bit, but Monday went down and got it. Woo! 4-3 on the put out. And that's out number 3. They had 3 hits. They left 2 on base. And the Bulldogs get around. Pretty good inning at the plate for Russellville. No score, though. We're in the middle of the second inning. Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog, 103.5. Yes, sir. 30's fine. Remember, Holloway's hitting the second baseman. Holloway's. We are back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Almost a Dr. Keith Holt.
Well, no, I'm not. I don't think that.
I could have been. I was in school long enough.
You were. You went long enough. You could have been a dentist, a doctor. But instead, you're the voice of the Greenwood Bulldogs.
And I wish I was in school for a long time. But anyway, here's Reed Carroll. Yeah.
Think about what you know about the history of America and the world, all the history classes.
I took a lot of them. It's fun. Reed Carroll, he's a right-handed batting second baseman. He'll lead off the bottom of the second. No score here. Hips back to work for the Cyclones. Swing and a miss. Nice cut from Carroll. Just swung under it a bit.
You got to be aggressive. I mean, you just got to. I still, we'll get into here in a minute how I think taking a year off last year really hurt hitting at all levels of baseball.
Right.
As we see that ball outside go to the backstop. But I really think, the only way you get better at hitting live pitching is to face live pitching. And if you think the amount of games that everybody lost at every level last year, I haven't seen great hitting this year from anybody. Even the Razorbacks, who are number 1 in the country, they're so sporadic. Moore, Franklin, those guys at the top may go 3 for 3 and then not get a hit for 3 games.
Yep.
And it's just, I think that's a product of everybody staying inside for a summer.
Carroll got the nice little chopper, hot shot to the third baseman. A great play over there from Wheelis. And across the diamond, he goes to Whitford just in time. And Carroll's out, 5-3 on the putout. Here's Luke Brewer. Now, Luke's a guy that I'd like to see catch fire. He's super athletic. Had high expectations. Obviously, his football season was fantastic. I'd like to see him get loose here on the diamond and really start leading this squad. I think he's got the firepower to do it. A right-handed bat and left fielder. Hips brings it home, and that's in there for a called strike.
Good first pitch curveball.
Yep. Wind howling across the diamond from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. That's in the – wow. Drug that one up. Nice frame job back there from Little Stevens.
That was a strike only because of Stevens.
Yeah.
He did a good job of bringing that pitch up.
One down here, bottom of the second. I'm going to wait. That's a ball. Thank goodness Stevens stood up that time. Hips ready. He kicks and fires. And a little breaking pitch and caught Brewer a little off guard and a swing and a miss. He can see it coming. It was so fat, but couldn't pull the trigger in time. Here's Morgan now in the 8 hole. Bryce Morgan, he's our shortstop, a right-handed bat. The best average on the team, I believe, is owned by Bryce Morgan. Hips will bring it home. Morgan rips one. That is fair. It's going to be a double for Bryce into the corner in left field. Bryce on his horse, and a good job of a little 2-out double for Morgan. Every now and then he makes the radio guy look good.
I mean, he's a confidence hitter. He's one that when he's down and doesn't believe in himself, he's not very good. Right now he's on a streak, and hopefully if he can keep this confidence up, he'll find his way moving up the lineup.
Well, that's the name of the game. And he led off last week against Greenbrier. I guess Coach Mikado just kind of kicking him around a bit. Here's Weaver now in the 9 hole. He's our third baseman. Hayden, a senior, right-handed bat. 2-out rally in progress here, bottom of the second. Weaver first pitch swinging right at the shortstop, booted, and no time. Good job of getting down the line from Weaver. And the shortstop, Burnett, with an error.
Yeah, he stayed back on that, and it just ate him up. I mean, you hear it all the time to attack the ball, and he definitely did not attack it, and it just ate him up.
Flipped the lineup over. We saw that with your son a lot, Keith Payton. He'd make those routine ones look like a mystery out there sometimes.
Yes.
The ones that were impossible, he made look easy. The ice cream man doing well at Crowder.
Yes, playing tonight at Connor State.
Nice, good. So here's top of the order. Brown's back up, 2 outs. That's outside, ball 1. Brown flied out to the left fielder actually to start the ball or the bottom of the first. I would have called it a center field fly out, but the left fielder was over to make the catch.
Well, the error is huge because when Brown comes up, anything can happen with his speed.
Fouled one back to the netting here, 1-1. And Sagely's out over at Connors. Is that right?
Yes, he's not playing.
I hate that. Just a couple of former Bulldogs are going to go head-to-head tonight, but to no avail.
Jace Presley's playing with Peyton at Crowder.
Good. Hips' shot in there is nice block by Stevens, who's really becoming a decent catcher back there. He gets better every year. A 2-1 count. We've talked about the big space behind home plate. I meant to get out there and measure that. What is it, 25 feet, 30 feet?
Easily 30, yeah.
Brown lifts this one the other way, but it's fouled out of play right side, 2-2.
Well, forever we had Jake Smith back there, who was, to me, one of the best defensive catchers that you could find.
Right.
And nothing got to the backstop.
No.
And you have to have that kind of kid if you play at Greenwood.
Yep. And we have time granted by Coach Mikado wanting Brown to just slow down a minute here. Let's run through some signs.
And that may have been part of to break up Hips' rhythm. Hips is working fast, and you don't want to let a pitcher get in a rhythm. You want to always change it up a little bit.
Deuce is wild again, 2-2, 2 outs, 2 men on. There goes the runner, and they've got Weaver in a little rundown. Can he stay out of it long enough to get Brown home? Or that's Morgan home, and he is tagged out. Yeah, they gave it a shot, but to no avail. Let's see here. I'm not sure how I'm going to score this. I know Morgan was the third out. 1 man left on base. Brown's going to get a chance to bat again.
When he doesn't try that, if Brown don't have 2 strikes, he was gambling on the fact that, okay, we can at least lead off with him next inning. He's got 2 strikes. He's probably not going to get a good pitch to hit. Let's give it a shot. I don't know if Weaver was supposed to leave early or he was trying to time it.
Right. So 1, 4, 5, 2 on the putout, we'll call it. Greenwood did leave a man on base. They did have a hit, so 2 hits for the Bulldogs. They left 3 on base, as has the Cyclones, and we'll just stay here through this half inning.
Yeah, my guess is Weaver was trying to time up. Pitcher's getting a rhythm, come set, go to the plate, and I don't know that he was supposed to leave early. And 90-foot bases, it's tough to do at any level to when you got a runner at third and you got guys that can throw it across, and it just didn't work out for Greenwood.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, getting some hot tips from folks tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Has Freedom Roofing got on board yet? Do we know?
We're working on it. Yeah, we'll be on the next broadcast.
Good. Excited. I don't mind giving you a free plug anyway there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. With all these storms coming up, you never know what's going to happen.
Hey, that's right. That's right. There'll be storms in the morning. Where are we at? Top of the order, Luke Ray. Right-handed batting second baseman. Flied out to center to start the ball game, and the sliders, where is that? Wow, what a great pitch from Jerica. Mercy. So a 1-0 count now.
And this is why I'm up here, because I can't be back there behind the plate. That's 2. The same spot.
Yep, exact same spot. 1-1 now. It's Will McCrotty over at third base. Former Cyclone of his own. Skipper for the boys. That's laced into center. Brown's on his horse. He's got a bead. You betcha. Caden Brown. They say that 2/3 of the earth is covered by water. The other third, Caden Brown.
Yes, 6'4" speed, which is that's at the you want to be 6'5", 6'6", and he's at 6'4". So UCA is getting a guy that can really run down some balls in the outfield.
That's baseball talk for a 60-yard dash.
That's
not
right, correct.
40. Football's a 40. Basketball's the 30 feet. Let's see here. I don't know what basketball's time is. Burnett's first been fouled out of play, strike 1. Brady Burnett, he's their shortstop, right-handed bat. Struck out looking his first time up. Jerica kicks and fires with the 0-1. That bounced in. Good job of Strozier back there to clean it up, gobble it up.
When I like to see Mercado. He sits over there and he watches what pitchers are being thrown, and if he sees a rhythm or he sees something off, he'll make sure he tells Strozier.
Swing and a miss. That slider's nasty. 1-2. 1 down here, top of the third. Still no score. 5A West action, Greenwood, Russellville. It's a doubleheader. All conference games, doubleheaders. Here's a high chopper. Weaver, good job. Can he make a good throw across the diamond? He did not. Air mailed it, and a reach on an error.
Go in the dugout.
May have, so that's going to give him a free base. Second error of the ball game.
Going back to the slider, I've talked to Peyton about he's at the JUCO level. You see 90 to 94 miles an hour, and he said that's easy to hit. It's the slider that's the hardest pitch to hit.
Wow.
He said for everybody, if you've got a good slider because it mirrors the fastball and it's just different and breaks out, he said he'd rather see 94 all day than see a good slider. And Jace Presley learned one, and he's been real effective.
Nice. Shane Bucher up now. He's their DH, a right-handed bat. The first one to him is just outside, ball 1. Burnett was granted second base after the ball was overthrown and into the dugout. So a 2-base error, if you will. Jerica swinging a miss to Bucher, 1-1. Good pitch.
If he stays there, Bucher's stepping out, pulling everything out. If he keeps that slider away, he should make short work of Bucher.
1-1 count. Top of the third. Beautiful day. Sun-drenched now in the field. A little bit of clouds out to the east. They're real thin, though. Boy, Strozier tried to frame it. That might have been just off the plate a bit. That's a 50-50 ball thus far, though.
Yeah.
Try to get you an update from the softball diamond here after a while, if we can. See how the ladies are doing against the Lady Cyclones. Swing and a miss at some high heat. 2-2. Shane Bucher.
And I'd say Burnett's probably one of their fastest runners, so you got to watch him on the bases.
Big lead out there at second. Jarika from the stretch. He'll come set up top and come home with it. Got him with the backwards K. That's just nasty. Locked him up. We've got 2 down now.
One thing you can't do with the slider is look for it. Otherwise, you'll never hit the fastball. If you sit up there and just sit slider, you say, well, why don't you just look for slider? Well, if you do, then he'll do what he just did, and he'll blow that fastball by you.
Tristan Wheeler struck out looking to end the first inning.
You remember his dad, Leon, played at Tech for a year?
Yes. There goes the runner. The throw down to third. Got him. He got him.
Oh, he
Did the
dropped
ball come loose? No, the ball came loose. Weaver, just couldn't squeeze it. He was dead meat. And Coach Mikado is going to ask for an explanation.
I don't know when he saw the ball come out. It was on the foul side of the – but you saw the ball come out, correct?
Well, I saw it come out of his glove. I could see it out of his glove, but not out of his glove. Is that making sense?
Yes.
I never saw it on the ground.
Right. Well, it was a perfect throw. I mean, his
Yes.
glove was right where the feet were sliding. We knew Burnett had speed, and he was going to go with 2 outs. And they were guessing that slider. He was throwing the slider, and everything worked in his favor other than Strozier throwing a perfect throw.
I thought it was a strike, but maybe home plate blue will help us out.
And that's probably what hurt. It was such a good throw that when Weaver caught it, he slid feet first right through his glove and just knocked it out.
Well, and one thing that hurt the whole sequence was the fact that Weaver didn't sell it and run to the dugout. That's one thing you have to learn. That's just things, part of the little antics of the game.
Don't act like you drop it.
Right. 1 strike count to Tristan Wheelis. And I don't remember Leon at Tech, I don't guess. That's in there for a called strike.
Part I don't understand is one of the rules of baseball is you don't make the first or third out at third base, and they really took a gamble because he's still in scoring position at second base. I mean, all you're going to do now is score on a pass ball. It's not going to be any different.
Right. 1-1 the count. Beg your pardon. That one bounced in. Good job from Strozier to keep that runner at bay over at third. We move Brady over. 2-1 the count. There's 2 down top of the third. Both teams have had plenty of base runners this ball game. So it hasn't been it's been a pitcher's duel, but not a pitcher's duel. A lot of errors. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Wheelis went after that one up the stairs.
We've seen a lot of Russellville batters swing at that higher fastball. It just looks so inviting after you see that slider that you can't make yourself stay off of it.
Deuce is wild again here in the top of the third. 2-2, 2 outs. Here it is. Chopper right back to Jarika, but he couldn't glove it, and it's going to be an RBI back up the box. Burnett will score. And Wheelis with an RBI single.
And that's where that error, he's not on base. If you just throw the ball and in conference play, the team that makes the fewest errors are going to be the teams that win it. They're at the top.
We can't now, since he actually called him out and then changed his save, can we assume an error at third on the dropped pickoff?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
That ball's a called strike. Well, where's the 50-50 one we talked about? This is Ty Hips, their pitcher.
He's like, just give me that next half inning.
Right, yeah. 1-0 Cyclones now. An unearned run. Twice, swing and a miss. Hips was swinging from his hips.
You and I have talked about this before. You see the umpire on a right-handed batter, he sits up kind of behind the batter to where that outside pitch he can't get a good look at. He don't want to get hit by a foul ball, so he sets up over there. We're just having to reach out to look at the outside pitch.
Strozier set up way outside. There's a little chopper. Weaver a chance to try it again. Across the diamond, better that time. Got him just in time. Woo. Hips with some nice speed down the line, though, Keith. Just barely beat the throw.
It was bang, bang.
Certainly was, but it counted as an out. There was a run, though. They had 1 hit, and there was obviously an error. They left 1 man on base. We've played 2.5, and the Bulldogs trail 1-0 here as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the top of the order. Brown, Ofen Monday. It's Greenwood Sports Center Online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir. 30's fine.
Just so you know, that's when I listen to the stream, that's what I'm waiting on.
Right.
I'm waiting for the breaks to where I can hear everything you say, and you and the doctor. And
Well, and we were going to try to spice it up and do some stuff for the stream during breaks.
Right.
We haven't done we haven't done anything. We can't think of nothing. We're back here in Greenwood. Tim Terry, Keith Holt. Glad to have you aboard. Beautiful Tuesday afternoon. If you weren't with us last Tuesday, we will have conference doubleheaders every single Tuesday between here and May, except next week. Next week's spring break, so I guess it won't be every single Tuesday.
yeah, and Greenwood goes to Little Rock. They play Thursday morning, I believe, at 11, Thursday evening at 5. Then they play Friday and Saturday. So they'll get several games in. Hopefully can get their offense lined out, find some other pitchers to, kind of strengthen their bullpen. I think Coach Mercado's looking forward to non-conference because this is essentially his first year.
Right.
I mean, last year.
Absolutely.
So he needs to find out what he's got.
Yep. Well, I can tell him that Aiden Kennan's over there somewhere in that dugout. He's one of the young up-and-coming arms. Brown swings the first pitch, and it's a fly ball to left and caught out there by Golden. Of course, your son, Doc Holt's another rising star arm out there.
Yeah, and some of those young guys are just they try to throw hard. Everybody talks velocity, and I think Aiden's already got some looks from Crowder, and people love what he has, but you still got to bring it out there and do it. And I'm kind of like you, just waiting for him to do it.
Chance Oaf now, and a called strike to the left-handed batting right fielder. Brown was out number 1, flied out to left. Bottom of the third, Cyclones lead 1-0, and Oaf lifts this one foul straight back, and he's in a hole 0-2.
And we talk about Oaf took that first pitch because, you just can't have 2 pitches, 2 outs. And
right.
You want them to be aggressive, but by the same token, we've done it, this is the 3rd inning in a row we swung 1 pitch, 1 out?
Yes, that just missed outside, 1-2, maybe a little low. Ty Hips up on top for Russellville, kicks and fires. This one's hit to the right, but it's going to be pulled just foul from Oaf. And, wow, what have we got going in right field? That's Justice Newman. Boy, his hat came off running for that one. Now that is some good-looking locks out there.
Newman.
And his dad, too. His dad hung out with Bryant Richardson. A.J. Newman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Bubbas.
Clements, Leslie Clements' nephew, huh?
Angie Bubbas.
Yeah, there's a shot to first from Oaf, and the first baseman will take it 3 unassisted. Whitford over there. Yeah, that's Leslie Clements' brother is A.J. Newman.
Okay, yes. So
that's her nephew out there. Just fantastic hair. Gets it maybe from his Aunt Leslie. She has fantastic hair.
You bet.
Here's Monday now. He's 0 for 1 today, flied out to center. And that one got him on the hat. The old chin music.
What's one thing a Bulldog will not do, or you will not be in the lineup, is stay in there and take your base. Mercado's made that one of his, you will be tough. You will stay in there. We'll get base runners. You will not move out of the way.
Love it.
And Monday took it off the chin.
You did. Certainly did.
Literally. If he doesn't have that flap, I think he hit the flap that covered his chin.
Yes. Well, here's Eureka now, a little 2-out rally for the Greenwood pitcher. He singled his last time up. Courtesy runner was stranded at second. Here it comes. Called. Boy, Stevens doing a good job of bringing that pitch up.
That is Stevens. That's all. Because that pitch is low. And, again, the umpires can't – he's looking across the Stevens body.
Here's the 0-1. Just tapped into the Russellville dugout, and Eureka's in a hole 0-2. Wind still freshened about 9 miles an hour across the diamond from right to left. Eureka gets up on the plate here in an 0-2 hole. Hips up on top. This one's foul straight up in the air and over the top of us. Foul ball. Nice crowd today. The weather's perfect. Joe Nichols weather. Sunny and 75 at first pitch.
Well, it does look like the University of Greenwood today with softball going on and baseball.
That one's just inside and a little high, too, Eureka. Good take. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That was close.
Yeah. No, it was inside and high. What do you mean too high? Here it comes. That one's lifted to left, and this one's going to be caught at the fence. Nice job out there by Golden to run that one down. Jerica definitely gave that one a ride,
No hits, no errors, one man
but it stayed in the park. Left a man on base.
up on one.
That's 4 base runners out there. And the Bulldogs trail 1-0. We've played 3 innings of baseball here. The Cyclones lead Greenwood in 5A West Conference action. We'll take a timeout on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so my take so far is our pitching, we could be deep. He's just got to find guys that can be consistent. Even in the JV games, all the guys I've seen, Hunter, Aiden, some of the juniors, they'll have one good inning and then one bad inning.
Yep.
And we got to just find some guys who can be consistent.
We are back here in Greenwood. Consistency at the pitching staff. Got to find some guys get consistent at the plate too. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, if Derica, Reed, Carroll, the guys that are pitching, if they do their job Monday and they hold runners, if you hold a team less than 2 runs, you have a chance of winning. But if you're only scoring 1, then you're not.
Yes.
So Greenwood's got to learn to put the ball in play. They got to manufacture some runs. They got to find some guys that can hit the ball. And it may be one of those situations where Coach Mercado just says, listen, I don't care what position you can play. I'm going to take my 9 best hitters, no matter where. I'm going to find a place to put them out there, and we got to hit the ball.
Yep. And that will come in handy with an extensive non-conference schedule. Get a lot of innings in.
That's right. Next week, spring break down in Little Rock, that'll be great for that. Find out who's going to hit.
Well, here's Russellville and Braden Whitford, their third baseman, popped out to our third baseman. He's their first baseman, I beg your pardon. Popped out to our third baseman. First time up. Jerica's first one's in there for a called strike. Good job of Strozier back there doing some frame work himself. Jerica kicks and fires. Swing and a miss at some garbage outside.
It's funny. You and I sat here and called, Holloway was a pitcher. And the pitchers knew what to do, knew how to coach. Well, Mercado was a catcher. So now we're seeing a catcher that kind of has taken over.
Yep.
As we see him slide outside and block a slider outside for a ball. But, Mercado, he does a good job of making sure the catcher's ready. He's calling the game. He's in control, and he's done a real good job of that.
Jerica kicks and fire. Here's the 1-2. Laced into left center. It's going to be in for a base hit. Brown got over. Gobbles it up. Good hit there.
That's a slider that just stayed over the middle of the plate. Yep. It never found the edge.
Softball's up 5-2.
Have I told you lately how much I like Dr. Smith?
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Wow. Boy.
Well, you see, we talk about this. Is there anything going up here at the track meet, or is there anything going on up here?
Usually there's, at some point there'll be soccer involved at the same time, because you sure wouldn't want people to go watch more than one sport. I like how they schedule them at the same time.
Yeah.
I've been complaining about this for about 7 or 8 years.
It's just impossible.
Maybe 10 years. Coach Frank Broyles would never like this, have stuff going on all at the same time. And they do it all the time now. Bunts hard out to Jerica. He'll get it and make the play at first. The sacrifice was good. A little bit harder, and Mike could have went to second with that. But Stevens with the sack bunt is out number 1.
Again, neither one of us like to give up the out. I mean, if you have to win a game late, I understand you playing for 1 run, but you also just got an out. Now you've got a runner on second with 1 out. So now this guy really has to get it done, or it was for nothing.
Jeremy Wilkins. He's their center fielder, so good speed up here, left-handed bat. Jerica from the stretch, checks on the runner, comes home with it. That's in there for a called strike.
And you see how the umpire has moved to the behind the left-handed batter, and it makes it to where that outside pitch is just you're looking across it instead of right at it.
1-1. The count 0-1. That one's way outside, and Strozier took his eye off of it and let it go by him. Pass ball, runner moves to third. It's tough. Got to receive that thing first. A 1-1 count. Russellville in business again here with one out in the top of the fourth. The man at third base.
I think that was just a two-seam fastball that just ran, and he just missed it. Like you said, he took his eyes off of it because the runner was getting a good secondary.
That's inside. 2-1. This is the 8-hole. Jeremy Wilkins. Finley Golden on deck for Russellville. 2-1 is the count. Jerica. He's ready up on top. And he'll come home. Strozier tried to frame it, but to no avail. It's 3-1.
So if you're a coach and you're going to give up an out to get a runner in scoring position, why would you not give up the out now to score him and squeeze or do a safety squeeze? I mean, to me, now you're going to have to hit it out of the infield to score him.
Swing and a miss. Full count. Good pitch. I agree with you. I 100% agree. Jerica's up on top. Wilkins digs in. Chopper towards Morgan. He'll glove it at short. The run will score. Nice dig by Mundy over there to get the out. It's an RBI.
And that's a conscious effort by Mercado just to get the out. So he's confident that we're going to get another run because if you're going to play your middle infield back, then that's automatically going to score that runner. So Mercado seems to think, and I hope he's right, that we're going to start hitting the ball and we're going to score at least more than one run.
I agree. Finley now. Finley Golden, the left-handed batting left fielder. Looks at strike one. 2 down here. Russellville puts one more up. 2-0. They lead. Here's the 0-1. Jerica kicks and fires. That's just outside. Golden she did show a bunt square for a moment and then pulled back. Here's the 1-1. And a little golfer towards Carroll. He'll gobble it up at second. Over to first. That'll do it. 4-3 on the putout. They did get a run across, so they had one hit. No runners left on base for the Cyclones. We're in the middle of the fourth inning. The Bulldogs down one more run. It's 2-0 Russellville. And we'll take a break here. Some 5A West baseball on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir.
Could you guys hear the Greenbrier team? Did you? I mean, last week, how
cackling,
loud?
howling.
Was that not the most unbelievable thing you've ever heard? Because they weren't just cackling; they were like yelling at our players.
Yeah, and it was like we beat them the first game, if I recall.
Yes.
And then it was 0-0, and I thought, their coach is just trying to get them fired up. That's why you got a little argument.
Yeah.
It was nice. We are back here in Greenwood. 5A West baseball. Conference action. Both teams 1-1 in conference. Greenwood split with Greenbrier last Tuesday. Russellville split with Van Buren. As Keith mentioned earlier, Russellville has a stud pitcher, Caleb
Sims.
It's Colton Sims.
Yeah.
He's going to he committed to Arkansas and seemingly not going to play today. Maybe injury, maybe the vid, who knows. But hopefully we don't have to see him. But I tell you what, it doesn't matter who you're going to see. You got to get some runs across. Hip's a quality pitcher as well. But Bulldogs see if they can get to him here in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Elliott, Carroll, and Brewer scheduled to hit.
I think this Russellville team is junior laden. I think that the majority of their players are juniors.
Drew Elliott, the DH, grounded out to the third baseman. There's a shot just foul. Tried the left side. Just outside third base. And 0-1 count to Drew Elliott. Right-handed bat. That's low.
It's a good job laying off that curveball. It looked like it was staying in there and then it just dropped off the table.
1 ball, 1 strike. Way outside, 2-1. Talk about former Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs. Paxton Hayes with another homer up at Pittsburgh State, her second of the year earlier today. That plunked him. Hey, we'll take it. Leadoff man aboard.
Did y'all decide that they are the Gorillas or Lady Gorillas?
They're just the Gorillas.
They're just the Gorillas.
Yeah. But what is a female gorilla?
I just always called it a gorilla when I had a chance.
When it comes up in casual conversation.
Man, I remember you're bringing back those tech days now. Here's Drew Elliott. That's Reed Carroll now. Drew's over on first. Good lead. Hips up top. Carroll showing bunt, and it's popped up in the air. Stevens going to give chase, but to no avail. 0-1 count. Reed Carroll, the second baseman, grounded out to third base to start the second inning.
Well, and if you're going to bunt here, you're basically trying not to hit in the double play and ruin a rally. You're trying to get him over, see if you can make something happen, and not hit into the double play, because that would shift the momentum back to Russellville.
Right. 0-1 count. Carroll digs in. They throw over this time, though, and Drew Elliott's back in safe. That Coach Hayes over at first. Haynes. He's asking for a little action from the dugout. Get the boys fired up. Carroll tried to bunt again and bunts it foul. That ball was outside. Both of his bunt attempts were balls, actually, that were.
I think he's trying to get a pinch runner or a pinch hitter ready. Well, you know what you –
Coach Myers, I beg your pardon. I knew I'd get it in a second. Yeah, the 0-2's high. And Carroll stayed away from it, so he's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And this is the part where it should get exciting, because both pitchers have thrown a lot of pitches. It's in the 4th inning, so fatigue can start settling in. You lose some velocity. So this is when things should get exciting. You get into somebody's bullpen.
Just tipped it, but Stevens squeezed, and it's a tip foul out. First out. Is that a strikeout or a foul out? Did we ever figure that out?
Strikeout. Foul out would have to be caught above the head.
Okay. Luke Brewer struck out swinging his last time up. See if Brewer get this one-out rally going. Right-handed junior. Number 23 digging in. Hips up on top from the stretch. Swing and a miss, just late. A good cut, just a little late from Brewer. Elliott gets his lead over at first base. He was hit by a pitch. That one's inside. Good job of Stevens to slide over and keep it at bay. We talked about the backstop here.
Catching is crucial on this field.
Here's a 1-1 to Luke Brewer. They're going to throw over, though. Elliott's in there, no problem.
Makes that bunt not getting down a little bit more important, because you still have the double play in effect.
There's a Taylor made one. Oh, but it gobbled up the shortstop. Would have been a nice play from Burnett. That's a high chopper that just he came after it. He just ate him up.
Yeah, and again, it goes back. We talk about how baseball is progressing. There's very few fields that are natural, and I think everybody takes grounders in G-Max on turf fields, and it's a different animal when you're playing on real grass and real dirt. And I think you see more errors when that happens.
Shout out to Coach Mikado. He's a staunch natural grass guy, which I am too. I love it. So a base hit or an error?
Error.
That one's outside. The runners.
He wouldn't have been able to turn 2, but he'd have had the runner at first for sure. He met it at the grass, and it just ate him up at the grass.
So Bryce Morgan now with a 1-ball count. 2-ball count. And Stevenson to go out and talk to Hips.
You like to be 2-0 with your hottest batter up at the plate. Runners at first and second, 1 out. You'd like to think right now you're going to get at least 1.
Yeah, and this is Green Light City. If I'm Coach Mikado, I don't know what the swing for the fences is, but I'm giving it to Bryce right now.
Yes.
Here's the 2-0. Hips checks the runner and comes home with it. And he took a home run hack, and he got the pitch, too. He just couldn't put the bat on the ball. It was in there for a strike. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Right-handed bat, Morgan. And Hips, the righty, comes home with it. There's one lifted to center. On his horse, and that's over the head. That's going to be at least, nope. He had to wait, though, so no one's going to score. That's tough for Elliott. Hey, but you know what? That was a great play from Wilkins to kind of sell that. I think he knew he was burnt, but he acted like he had a bead on it.
He definitely did. They decoy where they made him
Yes.
think he was going to catch it. But, I still think, you teach runners at that level, go ahead. You either got to commit to getting off far
Yep.
enough where you can score, or you're going to be all the way back to tag. And he was really neither one. He's
Yep.
kind of in no man's
I
land.
agree. Certainly with him, when you see him running away from the ball, gives you a little better chance of you being able to turn around and get back.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Well, we do have a pinch hitter for Hayden Weaver. And it is number 16, JT Stanfield. Right-handed bat, yeah.
Number.
Hips, kicks, and fires. Called strike to Stanfield. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth. One out, Bulldogs in a spot here. That one's fouled back into the netting, and Stanfield's dug himself an 0-2 hole.
You still like to think that was a huge hit
Yes.
by Morgan, and he's again. I've talked to his dad. He's a confidence kid, and right now he's feeling it. That ball was well hit.
And Stanfield just caught a piece, stays alive. Stanfield's got a ton of Bulldog blood in him. It's Eric Stanfield, Casey Brewer's boy right there. They're both class of 92. Here's the 0-2 to JT. Attaboy fouls it right back into the netting. Hips.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Hips just keeps getting that pitch count a little higher each time, huh?
That's right. And the one thing in high school ball you can't do is just have a ton of strikeouts offensively. If JT will just put this ball in play.
Oh, curveball got him, and JT knew it. Got him looking. You'd like to see them get on right there with the top of the order coming up and still having one out. But here's Brown's chance to shine. He's in the leadoff spot. He's 0 for 2. With the bases loaded, this is why they pay him the big bucks. Caden Brown, right-handed batting center fielder. And Hips trying to get out of this jam. He's back in the windup with the bases loaded. And here it comes. Swing and a miss. Best opportunity of the day for Greenwood here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing 2-0. And Coach Mikado is going to come down and talk to the batter. Met him about halfway down the third base side.
Coach Mercado does a great job at being positive, and I'm sure right now I have no idea what conversation he's saying, but I'm sure he's telling him, look, saying, you're the man. You can beat this guy. It's you versus him.
Yes.
Go up and put a good bat on it. Don't try to just make contact, make hard contact with the ball, and I'm sure Mercado's being positive because he does a good job at staying positive with these guys.
The 0-1 and the curveball just missed upstairs. Stevens wanted it. The Russellville faithful wanted it. Good traveling fans from these Cyclone folks, for sure. Here's the 1-1. That's a base hit into right center. It's going to tie this ball game. In comes Brewer, and to second base goes Brown. A huge one there from Caden Brown to tie this game up.
Whatever Mercado said worked.
Yeah, absolutely, Keith. You're exactly right. And that's a 2 RBI single. He moved up on the throw in.
Sometimes at the high school level you try to do too much, especially when you're struggling offensively. And, Cade knows he's one of the best players. That's why he's in the leadoff. And
First pitch swinging towards left field, and the left fielder found it in the high sky. Out 3. The damage was done.
huge.
Bulldogs got 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and we left 1 on base. That's 5 on the day, though. But we've tied it up here against these Cyclones. Through 4 innings, Greenwood 2, Russellville 2. 5A West Baseball, Greenwood Sports Center Online, and the Sports Hog, 103.5. Yes, sir.
Tim, Keith, their catcher, Stevens, is doing an outstanding job of framing those low pitches up and getting called strikes.
Yep.
And it's an art. I mean,
It really is.
You can send kids all over the country to try to find guys, and you still have to be taught how to do it.
We're back here in Greenwood. Tie game now. New life for these Bulldogs. Had bases loaded, 1 out. Caden Brown came through in the clutch with a 2-run single into right center.
What I've got is
the
with,
opposite hits
I've got
too.
it with 4 hits, and you can talk about Brown's hit, but to me the biggest hit was probably Morgan's because it kept the inning alive. It put 2 people in scoring position, and even though we didn't score that runner, then Brown came up and he did his job. And I think them 2 together, those are the 2 biggest hits, and they came when they needed.
Yep. Well, let's see if Drika now feeling a little better. Boy's got him some runs. This top of the order, Luke Ray. He's flied out to center twice. Eureka, the Bulldogs ace up on top.
And when I talk about longevity and pitchers getting fatigued, that's minus Eureka. I've never seen him get tired pitching. He's one of those few pitchers that, to me, he looks the exact same in the 5th and 6th inning as he does in the 1st.
That one's in there for a called strike to Luke Ray. He's their second baseman. Strozier did a good job of trying to frame that, but didn't sell it enough to the umpires. 1-1. Eureka up on top. Kicks and fires. Outside, 2-1.
And I always get confused on the McCartys. I'm pretty sure this is the catcher McCarty, and the other one was the pitcher, correct?
I have no idea.
They say catcher managers make better baseball managers.
Line drive just gobbled Weaver up. Just couldn't jump the ladder enough and went off his glove. And it's a single. Yes, single into right field, or left field, rather.
Yeah, he tried to climb the ladder, but it was hit so hard and so well that he couldn't get up there fast enough.
Here's Burnett now. He's their shortstop. Reached on an error, scored a run in the 3rd. Struck out looking in the 1st.
Okay, so if your philosophy is to play for 1 run, are you going to bunt this is probably one of their best hitters?
Yep.
Do you bunt him and just say he's going to be out?
Well, let's see. He did not. There goes the runner. Swing and miss. And the throw was off the wrong side of the bag. A better throw, and he's dead meat. Bag is swiped, so now he's over in scoring position.
Yeah, and Morgan does something a lot of shortstops do is he came too far in front, and when you slide to the back of the bag, you just can't reach him. And I think if he stays in front, right even with the bag, it's easier to reach that runner.
Yep. 0-1 count. Runner in scoring position, nobody out for Russellville. And Eureka comes home with it. That one's outside.
So I'm wondering if that was a hit and run. He swung at it, correct?
He did. 1-1. Landry Eureka from the stretch. Now comes set, checks on the runner, and comes home. There's a shot. Morgan couldn't get there. Got into left field, and runners at the corners. The ball caroms off of the glove, but didn't hurt anybody. We've got first and third. McCarty getting up slow at third. I think he was shutting down his runner who was going to try to advance. And
to me, I think that's bad base running.
Yep.
It's all clearly between third and short,
Yep.
and the runner hesitated, actually went back towards second, and he makes it only to third, where if he goes on the hit, he scores on that.
He easily scores. So Coach Mikado's going to make a trip to the mound now and talk to Eureka and see how he's feeling. It's tied at 2 here in the top of the 5th. The Cyclones are right back in business. That's one thing about today's game. We've had runners on every inning. I don't think we've had a 1-2-3 at all.
No, Drake is only at 72 pitches, so he's out there talking about the defense, what they want to do first and third. Right now, he's just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page because you can't make a mistake if you're going to throw through and you're supposed to fake it to third or cut it. He wants to make sure everybody's on the same page right here. There was no way he was going out there to take Drake out at only 72 pitches.
And we've got the 3-hole coming up in the bottom of the 5th, so you see him going to probably surrender the run and go for the double play again here with nobody out. And Shane Bucher standing in, reached on an error, struck out looking. He's their DH. Here comes from Eureka. That one's low. Strozier knocked it down. The runners stay put.
I think he was thinking they're going to throw out. So, if Brady Burnett's one of your fastest runners, you got to steal him this pitcher next to take out the double play.
Sure. Here's the 1-0. Eureka checks on him. Nobody moving. Did he offer?
Oh, another bad base running.
That ball squirted away from Strozier, and Burnett's got to be standing on second. He did not. It's 0-2, though, or 2-0 the count, rather.
They teach you to read that down angle. When it hits the dirt, the catcher has to go to his knees, and it's almost a gimme to get there.
Yep. Jerica comes home, swing and a miss. Need for Jerica just to saddle up right here and take care of these batters. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, top of the 5th. Cyclones with the runners at the corners. A couple of singles. And a stolen base. Here's the 2-1 from Jerica. Called strike. Good job there from Strozier.
Again, we see the catcher. I think he influenced that call more than any.
It's Olin Mills spectacular, framing that thing up.
Does Olin Mills still take pictures?
I don't know. Here's a 2-2. He should. He did a good job. Jerica checks the runner at first and comes home with the 2-2. And Tapper over to the third base dugout. And the Cyclone out on deck helps out. That's Wheelis.
I know Jerica is really quick to the plate, but with a go-ahead run at third base, and Burnett being fast, I still don't know why we haven't seen him take off.
That's amazing. I don't know either. Jerica up on top. Here comes the 2-2. He'll come home with it. This ball's laced to left. Brewer on 1 hop. It'll be an RBI, but still the force is in order because they could have got there a number of ways.
Now if Coach is holding true to what he's done, he's going to bunt right here to get 2 runners in scoring position and give up the out. Who's
Tristan Wheelis, their
Tristan
4-hole.
Wheelis.
He's their third baseman.
Yeah, I don't know if you bunt your 4-hole. But if you,
I bet his dad wouldn't like it if he's watching. I don't
No.
know how baseball dads are. Nobody out still. 3-2 now. Cyclones with the lead. 3 singles in a row. Swing and a miss. Tristan was swinging for the fence and going for the kill shot.
we could have a whole podcast about baseball dads.
Right. Oh,
Hours,
yes,
days.
Sure. Jerica's up on top. First and second. This one's tipped foul, so he's way ahead of Wheelis here. So this be nice to get a strikeout. Or maybe a line drive right to Weaver and a triple play. I don't know. No balls, 2 strikes to Tristan Wheelis, their third baseman. Jerica comes home with it. And this one's lifted to left. Can Brewer get to it? He cannot. It drops, and we're loaded again on 4 straight singles.
And to me, that was a good piece of base running because I thought that had a chance to be caught. And Burnett went ahead and sailed out and made it all the way to third and took away the force.
So they're loaded again for Russellville, and their pitcher, Ty Hips, will come in. It's not like they're hitting the ball hard on Jerica. It's just hitting it where they ain't.
Well, Jerica has thrown 81 pitches, and he's thrown 58 strikes. I mean, he's in the zone. And we talked about earlier, just swing. I think the difference is he's leaving too much over the middle of the plate.
Infield up on the grass, and the one to Hips is low and away, ball 1.
When you and I watch Jerica, over the years be effective, he stays outside. And I think he's trying to be too fine and not staying outside, and they're just putting good wood on the ball.
Yep. Here's the 1-0. And a shot foul outside third base, 1-1.
You got everybody infield's in now. Everybody's going home. You're trying to get the double play.
Yep.
Home then first.
Nobody out the top of the 5th, 3-2. Cyclones with 1 across, 4 straight singles. The bases are loaded. Here it comes. There's a little slider, and we just ate Weaver up again. Morgan gets there and applies the tag. The run's going to score. Good job of Morgan to be a heads up, and he'll get Bucher over there.
Saves the error, turns into a fielder's choice.
Yes, 5-6 on the putout. 1 down. Wheelis to second. Hips is on with a fielder's choice.
Yeah, Morgan, when he took off to go tag third, he didn't see the runner running by him, and as the runner did, he just reaches out and tags him.
And they're going to let Hips stay in and run. So here's Jerica now. Still first and second. The force is in order. Double plays in order. Strike to Whitford.
And that's better. It's hard to hit that pitch. If he stays right there on the outside part of the plate, it's tough to hit.
4-2, 1 down. Cyclones leading.
Right there.
That's in there for a called strike. Whitford popped out to third and singled and scored a run in the 4th to lead off the 4th. He's 1 for 2. 0-2 count here. See if Drake can come get him. Still up at the corners a bit. Swing and a miss on a ball that was way inside. And there's the strikeout we've been looking for. Just a little bit of damage already done. Brant Stevens will come in, their catcher.
And it tells you something about Dorica not having his best stuff is Strozier was set up 6 inches outside, and that ball was off the plate on the inside part of the plate. And we just and I think a lot of Dorica. I think he's a great pitcher,
Certainly.
but he's just leaving it over the middle of the plate.
Here's 2 outs now. Landry up on top. And fouled out a play over the top. Good cut from Stevens. He's singled and sacked bunt today. The Russellville catcher, right-handed bat. 0-1 count. 2 down now. Russellville 2 more in the 5th here. That's high and tight. 1-1. Bulldogs caught him in the 4th, put 2 across. Russellville right back up on top here in the 5th. 3-4-5 hole coming up for Greenwood, though, in the bottom half. See if they can return the favor. Outside, 2-1 now to Brant Stevens, their catcher. Dorica up on top. Runners at first and second for Russellville. Dorica's ready from the stretch, and now kicks and fires. That's in there, nasty. 2-2.
Yeah, they buckled his knees. That slider was a little tighter than the rest he's thrown.
Deuce is wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th. Here it comes.
If Strozier saw it, he'll throw the same pitch. And there it was.
Yeah, and he just pull-cued that one foul outside first base. Mundy will ease over and gobble it up, and we'll do it again.
So he didn't buckle his knees on that one, so now you got to come back out with an outside fastball.
2-2. 2 outs. Top of the 5th. 4-2 Russellville. Landry Dorica comes home. Fouled up in the air. Strozier's got room, does he? He's off with the helmet and makes the snag, and that will end it. But not after some damage was done. As the Cyclones got 2 across on 4 hits. But they 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and they left a man on base, 2 men on base. So they've left 6 themselves, Keith. We've played 4.5 innings, and the Bulldogs trail Russellville 4-2. 5A West Baseball, Greenwood Sports Center, online in the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir.
This Blake Dawson, you see, he's I bet he'll get some playing time. He's the coach at Tech, the baseball coach at Tech, his son.
Oh,
Coach
okay.
Dawson.
Yeah. Okay. What about didn't courtesy run?
What?
We are back here. Ty Hips back to work for Russellville. Keith, I was curious why I didn't courtesy run for him.
If you got a pitcher that knows baseball, and Ty Hips has played a lot of travel baseball, I know his dad. In a situation like that, you want your best base runner out there, whether it's a pitcher, catcher, or what. And if you
His courtesy runner got cut down earlier.
That's right. And so you don't want that to happen again in a moment like that.
Yep.
So you kind of say, well, I don't care if he gets tired. I don't care if it takes a little bit longer to get ready. I'd rather have a guy out there that's not going to get cut down.
Well, and when the clouds have come in here, it's overcast now, and it's about 73 degrees. It's not like it's real hot out there, and he's getting burnt up by the sun either, if you're the pitcher.
That's right.
So here's Matt Mundy. Go ahead.
And we see all these coaches that they use the younger guys to courtesy run, and that's good to get them the experience, but that's also bad because you know what experience means. You make some mistakes, and you can't afford to make those in conference games.
Monday flied out to center, hit by a pitch.
He's due.
Certainly is due. Wind, breeze freshening still. Old Glory, not quite full starch, but she's out there heading to left field. And the first one's inside to Matt Mundy for a ball 1.
Will softball still hit some out with that wind blowing in from left at softball?
Could be. There's a shot to third. Good job. Gobble that up. Mundy trying to beat the throw out, but a long throw from Wheelis got him. 5-3 on the put out. Be curious to see how the Lady Bulldogs do in softball with a pretty dominant middle infield. Both girls committed to the University of Arkansas. with Chelsea Postage first year coming over from Muldrow, and of course Ali Sockett short. It's high expectations.
It's pretty exciting.
Here's Landry Jerica. He's 1 for 2 today, and first pitch swing and chops it into the Russellville dugout, third base side, strike one.
So you've got 3 Bulldogs with hits. You know, you got Jerica, Brown, and Morgan, and you got to rely on more guys than that to do some damage offensively.
0-1. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Elliott out on deck for the Bulldogs. Here's a 1-1 to Jerica. Lifted in the air. Second baseman back. Newman comes in from right, but it'll be their second baseman, Ray, making the catch.
When Jerica offered at that pitch, I think he immediately knew he shouldn't have. He didn't really stay behind it and try to hit it hard. He threw his hands at it, and you could tell he really would like to have that one back.
Well, here's Drew Elliott. He's our DH. He was hit by a pitch, scored a run in the 4th, grounded out to 3rd, and that one stayed inside. He was going to take another one. It's ball 1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. There's a shot to the second baseman. Ray gobbles it up. He'll throw over to first and get the out. Well, it's our first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Unfortunately, it was the Bulldogs at bat. 5 innings complete here in game 1 of this 5A West doubleheader. Russellville 4, Greenwood 2. Bulldogs baseball. It's Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir.
You might tell him you'll probably see Hips finish this off. He's only at 70 pitches.
Wow.
But, I mean, it looks like he's lost some velocity, but as long as he's getting the job done. Yes, I meant to tell you guys that last time when I was watching it, is that it needs to be in the top right-hand corner if you can.
Wife said you can't see the score.
Because it says live.
We are back here at Greenwood Diamond. Tim Terry, Keith Holt, Russellville Cyclones in town. Top of the 6th inning, 5A West action. The Bulldogs trailing 4-2 to Russellville. Softball's up 9-5 over behind the center field fence.
Well, Greenwood's going to need to have a quick inning here and then get back in and start hitting the ball with the middle to bottom half of their lineup if they're going to create some havoc for Russellville right now. We talked about it. You know, Ty Hips is at 70 pitches, so he'll probably stay out there. I feel like he's lost some velocity, and as we bring in Oaf to finish it off.
Left-handed Chance Oaf. That looks like Mitchell out in right field, number 30.
And Jerica goes to 3rd.
Correct. So that's our changes defensively.
You know, last year Oaf had some elbow issues, and they changed his arm slot a little bit. He's still kind of trying to find his slot that's consistent. But when he's on and his curveball is working, he's tough to hit. I mean, there's quite a bit of difference in his fastball and in his off speed. So, you know, if he can, just like that right there, that was his off speed. It was a different arm slot than he's used to.
4-2, Greenwood trailing here. Russellville coming to bat. They're going to send their 8, 9, and 1 batters up. Wilkins, Golden, and Ray. I remember Oaf as a freshman. Went down to Clarksville. I think he no-hit the Panthers, or maybe a 1-hitter. It was a fantastic outing.
He's a little bit bigger than he was then now.
Yes, he was a little bitty dude. Another kid full of class of 92 Greenwood blood. His dad, Brian, graduated with me. Mother, Carolyn, was a 94 grad, the former Carolyn Carter. Here's Wilkins, single and ground out RBI in the 4th. Lefty-lefty matchup. Russellville leads 4-2. Here's Oaf in there for a called strike. A little outside black to the left-handed bat. 0-1. Chance kicks and fires. A little bit too far outside. 1-1. Chance up on top from the windup. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And all you need in baseball is to have a big inning late, and
Yep.
you're okay. I mean, all's forgiven in the early. So
Yes.
all this talking about us not hitting and us only having 3 guys
Yeah.
can all be forgiven. We can take care of business right now that we seem got him.
Curveball was nasty, but Strozier dropped it. He'll have to complete the strikeout. It locked Wilkins up. 2-3 to complete the K, 1 down. Here's Finley Golden.
And this may have been strategic for Coach. We see 2 lefties in a row for
Right,
him bringing
sure.
in Oaf.
Thought
and,
about that.
Yeah, and sitting here thinking, well, let's bring in our lefty, and it doesn't hurt you defensively. Drika at third.
Yep.
So, it may be some strategy from Coach.
That one's outside. Finley squared the bunt, pulled back, but the ball was thrown away from him. Ball 1.
A lot of lefties do that just to, like we see Drika move in on the grass, just to make that left side a little bit bigger for him to lay down or to hit something.
That one's outside and low as well. 2-0. That time he did not square. Finley Golden. Way up on the dish there in the batter's box. Here it comes, the 2-0. Lifted to the left. Brewer will drift in and make the grab. No problem. 2 down. We go back to the top of the order. Here's Luke Ray, their second baseman. Singled and scored a run. He's flied out to center twice. He's 1 for 3.
And we see Golden's the only one of the starters that does not have a hit.
Wow.
We see everybody in the lineup for Russellville that has a hit other than Golden.
Yep, that's exactly right. Here's the first one from Ove. Hat came off. Boy, Strozier tried to frame that. Didn't really need too much, but it didn't work either way. It's the ball. Goodness. Here's
It
the
almost went in that back door, didn't it?
Yep. That one certainly went in the front door. 1-1.
And I'll say we've always talked about pitchers that work quick, and Oaf's one of these guys. He wants the sign. As soon as he gets it, he starts and
Yep.
goes.
Here's a 1-1. There's a shot to Drika. No problem for Landry across the diamond. And 5-3 on the putout. Well, we got our 1-2-3 inning ourselves, boys. See if we can get the bats going. Carroll, Brewer, Morgan due to bat here in the bottom of the 6th as the lights come on here at Bulldog Diamond. 4-2, Russellville leads 5A West Baseball. Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir. Thank you. I still hadn't got those other commercials for the.
Are you going to do mine for Freedom when I get it?
I can, yeah.
Tim, for the Facebook Live folks, if they'll swipe and clear the comments, the live should go away.
Facebook Live. Okay.
That way you can see the scoreboard a little better.
We are back here in Greenwood. If you're watching the live stream, my man Sean Holland says if you're on the Facebook stream, swipe the chat, and it'll go away and it'll get away from the scoreboard if you're having trouble seeing the score. Yeah, Dr. Smith tuning in. Appreciate him. And I've already gone with the 9 Pines deal. You're getting in late on that deal.
Well, and I keep waiting for us to do something to name it. There's got to be somebody. I keep thinking the Johnsons.
Well, so Cephas Peters, we went through Cephas.
Yes, but get this thing named, and I still think we should. Well, I won't talk
Donnie
about
Johnson
turfing
for
the whole.
sure.
I know
No, we
you-
ain't turfing nothing. Turfing nothing.
The best thing about turf is you can play. You can play anytime. There's no rainouts.
Well, per se, it can still be too slippery and wet, I think.
Yes, agreed.
Here's Reed Carroll. First one's a ball to him. Yeah, that's part of it. Rainout's a part of it. Now, you probably want them automatic strike zone too back there.
No, I do not.
Dadgum liberal.
No, I got a catcher for.
Oh, I got you. That ball's fouled out of play.
Yeah, the snow cone kid is going to be a.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You do have a
catcher,
catcher. Very good.
And he's got an art of getting under that pitch, and if you take that away, then he's just another player.
Yes, sir. I agree. Matter of fact, you don't even need a catcher.
Yeah.
Just let the umpire hit his shin guard. Carroll looked at that one across and breaking ball 1-2.
They are going to experiment in single A baseball this year with the automatic strike zone, but an umpire is going to be back there to help with anything.
1-2. That was lifted to right. Can it get down in no man's land? It's foul. Newman and the flowing locks. Lost his hat on the way over there and made a nice dive at it, but it was just foul. It's a long strike, 1 and 2. Now, here's what I would do. If it was up to me, I'd put a little earpiece in the ump with a little beep if it's a strike. If you want to just take him out of the game, you can leave him back there and no one would know and let the robot say beep and strike. He can just call a strike. I mean,
I don't like that either.
well, I don't like
I want
it
the
either.
umpire to use his.
I agree, 100%. All replay has done is made officials lazy and not have to worry about getting the call right. So we can just kind of almost it, and then we'll just check replay if we need to. That's at every sport: football, basketball, baseball, whatever, golf.
Well,
That one's fisted out of play, and Carroll's staying alive with a 2-2 count.
And don't you know it'll get chippy when a batter knows? Right now you can't look at the official or anything, or that strike zone just expanded.
Yep.
Well, now you can look at him, say whatever you want because
Right.
it's going to stay the same.
Yes. Here's the 2-2. This one's in play, though, I think. Can Stevens get there? He booted it. Had plenty of room and just dropped it. That's a rare mistake you see from Brent Stevens.
And this is what you love about you and I've always talked about this. You see a play that should have been made.
Yep.
This is how a rally gets started.
Right.
There's nobody out, 2-2 count. Reed hits something hard to the gap, gets a double,
Yes.
and then your rally started.
I agree with you. Reed's over 2 today, so he's due. Right-handed bat. Here it comes from Ty Hips. Kicks and fires. And a shot to short. It's kind of pool cued a bit, but had to be dug out, and it was not. I think he was going to beat the throw anyway, Keith.
Yeah, it's still an error. I mean, because he stayed back on it as a routine ball. The shortstop's just staying back. He stayed back and had an error, and then he charged it because he knew he should have, and then had an error, so now he's staying back again.
Carroll. Now, we did this last week against Greenbrier. There was a questionable call as far as scoring goes, and I gave it a hit because I want to see our averages get better.
Right.
So you might see Coach Mercado go with the hit there officially.
I don't know. I think he's tougher. I think that's why you see
Yep.
the officials score down. I think he's kind of tough on his guys as well.
Brewer squared the bunt here and pulled back and takes one outside for a ball. I agree it should be an error because he waited. Brewer reached on an error, scored a run. He struck out swinging. So he's due. Again, squared the bunt, offered that time. 1-1. I did learn last week from their home plate blue, or from the actually was in the field. They questioned about the bunt not pulling the bat back, and he said he can have the bat out as long as he didn't offer at it. It's not if he doesn't have to pull it back per se for it to be a ball. He's got to offer for it to be a strike.
Do you believe that?
I didn't really believe it.
Because if the bat is out, it's offered. I mean,
Well,
because you don't have
that
to.
was the argument. There's a throw over to first base, and
I think they're wrong.
Carroll's in there safely. Again, Brewer tried to bunt and can't get it down. Now he's in a hole 1 and 2. That takes the bunt off. Greenwood's been horrible bunting the ball today, or attempting to. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And you can bunt all day in batting practice. It's different when you're trying to bunt that
Yes.
curveball you just threw and it hangs up there high, and you're down 2 in the 6th inning.
Here's the 1-2. Tipped, and Brewer just got a piece of it straight back to the netting. Bryce Morgan out on deck. Like to see Brewer get on somehow with the hot-hitting Morgan coming up with no outs. Have 2 men on. Here's Hips. Can we get to him one time? Curveball, and again, that one right at the camera. Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've got 3 different ball games going up here. We got
do.
live stream. We got Crowder. Ice cream man with a double. Here it comes. Oh, that got him. Just caught him on the sleeve. Atta boy, Brewer. And there you go, Keith. You talked about being Bulldog tough.
Well, it started with the error.
Yep.
I mean, started with the first error by the catcher. You don't officially get an error,
Right.
but to me, that's you and I both know it should have been caught.
Yes.
And then you have the actual error, and Reed should have been out. Instead, he's standing on second base. You hit another batter, and they don't have any action in the bullpen
Nothing.
yet.
It's Hips'
It's Hips'
show.
game.
And here's Bryce Morgan, who's red hot, 2 for 2. And he went for the gusto that time, swinging a miss, strike 1.
You know, it doesn't scare me like it used to because he did that the last at bat and
Right.
then hit one almost off the fence.
Agree. 4-2, Russellville leads bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs have something going here with 2 men on. That's inside. He tried to wrap an elbow up into that one. 1-1.
And we see Hips he's lost a little bit of control because to me he is fatigued early in the season, throwing a lot of pitches.
This maybe tells me that they're back. Their next pitcher may be out in the field somewhere, Keith. That one's outside and low, 2-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. You know, Russellville, this is their talented group of baseball players is their junior class with a few sophomores. So, you know, most of their players are out there.
There's Stevens going out to talk to Ty Hips. Just calm him down a bit. Whitford comes in from third to join the party. Maybe a candle set, maybe some chiffon. What was it? Can we say it all with Bull Durham?
No. If you're quoting Bull Durham, you can't say it.
I tried. I cherry-picked a few. First and second for Greenwood. Nobody out. Bottom of the sixth. Down by 2. Here's Hips from the stretch. And the hot-hitting Bryce Morgan at the plate. That one's upstairs. 3-1. No, well, we got a base open. Dawson Holtz out on deck for the Bulldogs. And Morgan hits one in the air. Oh, this one's going to be playable. First baseman, has he got it? He does. He finally found it. Made it an adventure. Whitford will record the first out.
It's probably the easiest pop fly for an infielder because you know it's an infield fly, and you're like, you know, so what if I miss it? He's still out.
Right. Well, here's Dawson Holt now. No pressure here, Dad.
Now batting number 17, Dawson Holt.
Holt, a sophomore, right-handed bat. The younger brother of the ice cream man, here it is. Swinging a nice cut from Dawson.
That's one thing you talk about, though, is you want him to be aggressive on fastballs early. Now, you probably won't see a fastball here, and he'll probably take it for a strike. But
here's the 0-1. It's way upstairs. Those are easy to figure out. 1-1 now to Holt.
It's funny because Holt actually played with Hips when they were 8 years old.
Nice. Hips up on top from the stretch. Checks the runners at first and second. And Holt lifts this one up and out of play. 1-2. Of course, Dawson, a little extra pressure. Huge shoes to fill from the big brother. But
well, he still says everybody calls him Peyton's brother. He wants to make a name for himself. He's either Peyton's brother or Ty's brother. So he wants to be Dawson.
Here's a chance right now for the doctor. And strike 3 called. It was a little low again, but we've seen that all day. And to the top of the order we go is Caden Brown. Have to be a hero on a 2-out rally.
Well, and the only way you get better is to get at bats. And some of these younger guys get at bats. They'll continue to get better.
Sure. Brown with a huge 2 RBI single in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3. Greenwood's down by 2 here, bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. And that's way upstairs. Ball 1 to Brown. Oaf out on deck, and Brown can extend the inning. Runners get their leads. That's Carroll at first. Reached on an error. Brewer was hit. And Brown's popped this one up into no man's land. It's foul. Whew. All 3 basemen converge over there. Looked like 2018 at Omaha, except for it was not caught.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And it falls for a strike, 1-1.
Well, you can make a living hitting over there.
Yes.
I mean, it's tough for the first baseman, second baseman, right fielder. If you can place it over there, you can make a living doing that.
Brown's back in. 2 outs, the 1-1 count. Hips up on top from the stretch. Brown is the go-ahead run at the plate. Here it comes. That one's in the dirt. Good job from Stevens back there to keep everybody where they're at, blocking that one. 2 balls and a strike. Hitters count here to Caden Brown. Big hole in right center. Here's Hips. Brown's shot to the shortstop. He'll field it. Underhand to second. And force out Brewer there. That's a tough one. Brown, let's see. For the ground out. Brewer was forced at second. 6-4 for the 3rd out. Yeah, left the man on base. Did have an error. No runs, though. And the Bulldogs and the Cyclones have completed 6 final at-bats here for the Cyclones, barring extra innings. And they lead Greenwood 4-2. It's Bulldogs baseball here on Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog 103.5. Yes, sir.
Well, I hate that for Dawson, but you got to foul that pitch off and
Yep.
get another one.
Right. Where did I miss them?
Let me pull back up there.
No. We are back here in Greenwood. Oaf still up on top, the lefty for the Bulldogs. Greenwood needs a quick inning here in the top of the 7th as they trail 2 runs to Russellville 4-2. 7-inning games here in conference or in high school for that matter. Doubleheader today. We'll have about 25-minute break between games. And it will be Burnett, Bucher, and Wheeless for the Cyclones here. They're 2, 3, and 4 batters. Burnett struck out looking, reached on an error, singled. He scored twice when he's been on base. Cyclones lead 4-2. And Oaf kicks and fires. That's in there for a called strike. Good pitch.
Burnett's had a tough day at short.
Yes.
Two errors or three errors?
At least 2 for sure. Strike looking. I didn't write down where the errors come from.
Well, the first one he stayed back. The second one
Yep.
he came in. Then he stayed back again.
That's right.
So.
Here's the 0-2. This was a chopper. Oaf off the bump. Nice fielding job over to Monday for out number 1. Beautiful.
Like a cat off the mound.
Yes. 1 out. Here's Shane Bucher, their DH. Reached on an error in the first. Struck out looking in the third. And an RBI single in that big 5th inning they had. 4 consecutive singles. Curveball stayed upstairs to Bucher. 1 ball count. Here it is. Chopper off the fist, right at Jerica. Gobbles, throws across. No problem. 5-3, 2 down.
Gotta love having Monday over there as a target.
Right. Wheeless is the last chance for the Cyclones here in the top of the 7th. A backwards K in the first. That's a strikeout looking if you're new to the show. And a couple of singles. Had an RBI in the third, did Wheeless. And unlike Leland Barclay, I go with the backwards K.
Leland
Curveball's
doesn't?
in there. He does not like the backwards K.
Well, how else are you going to know it was looking?
He just puts a little L beside it.
Just KL?
Yep.
Seems
That's in there for a called strike. I know.
seems excessive, like a lot of writing.
Well, I mean, you just make a little bitty L, though. You don't have to do
That's like KS. That's what people that do KS, K
Right.
looking, or K swinging.
swing and a miss. Strozier dropped it. He'll throw down to complete the strikeout. Oh, 6 batters faced, 6 out. So Chance has come in and done well of limiting the action. The Bulldogs got to reward him now. It'll be his own show, the pitcher, Chance Oaf, to lead off the bottom of the 7th. 2-3-4 hole, just like you drew it up. Bulldogs' last chance here, bottom of the 7th coming up. Russellville leads 4-2. It's Greenwood Baseball, Greenwood Sports Center, online, and the Sports Hog, 103.5. And we've got some action going. Thank you. Let's see what McCarty's got going. A new pitcher?
Yeah, Peyton's playing short, and he absolutely had rather play second.
Really?
But their best offensive lineup is when he plays short. But their best offensive lineup, he can't stand short anymore. He said second's so easy.
Right. Yep. New pitcher in for Russellville. That's Shane Bucher. He was their DH. So he wasn't in the defensive lineup. I don't know if Hip stayed in somewhere. I'm kind of scanning to see. I don't think I see.
Well, he DH'd for Justice, so I bet he went to take Justice's spot. Is Justice still out there? Justice's hair's not out there.
You're right. He may be in right field. Good eye on the hair.
Yep, that's Hips out there. So he just basically took away the DH now. Justice comes off, and Hips goes to right field.
A right-handed pitcher. Light shining bright here at the baseball diamond. Softball yet to turn theirs on over there. Saki's going to make him work for it. Looks like game one's over. I see him dragging the field in softball. I would assume that the Lady Bulldogs were victorious.
And Bucher, just watching him, doesn't look like he's going to be overpowering. You might see a lot of junk here. If he has to throw his fastball, I would think Greenwood can make a better adjustment with it, especially with 2, 3, 4 hitting in our lineup.
Yeah, it's time for these guys to shine right here. Good opportunity for the Bulldogs. Meat of the order. Wind kind of turned and blowing straight in from right now. What little wind there is, the Old Glory is a little more limp than she has been earlier. Game one of this twin bill, Greenwood trailing 4-2 here. Bottom of the 7th, last chance for the Dogs. Got to have 2 to extend this ball game, 3 to win. I'd like to see a double, and then a homer.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. Chance Oaf. Heading to Arkansas Tech. See if these boys can step up right here. Left-handed bat, right-handed pitching, Shane Bucher. First time they've seen him. Here comes the first one to Oaf. And it's going to be outside, which it was, but it's been called a strike all day. Here's a 1-0 to Oaf. Left-handed batter, maybe that made a little more outside. There's one laced right to center fielder, though. Didn't burn him this time. He came in a step. Made it look pretty easy, but Wilkins had to reach up and grab it. It was one down.
We hit that well.
Did.
And when you can see the ball a little bit longer with the less velocity, there's no telling where Monday might hit this ball.
Matt Mundy digs in. He is 0 for 2 today with a hit by pitch. That doesn't count as an at-bat, right?
Correct.
One down. Here's Mundy, the junior, first baseman. And there's the one he wanted it. Okay.
Wow.
That was a ball. Good eye from Monday. Good night.
Curveball broke right over the middle of the plate, split it in half.
Yeah.
Ball.
Here's the 1-0 from Bucher. That's a called strike.
Same pitch except inside. That's probably more
Right.
inside.
I agree. There's a 1-1. Sometimes you get caught and just have to get out of the hole backwards if you're an umpire.
Do you still, when umpires come up here between, they don't come up
They
here
do.
anymore, do they?
Yes.
Do you tell them how inconsistent they are?
No. Here's a ball lifted in the air, but it's going to be into that no man's land. The second baseman rays over, makes the catch in that little triangle.
That was
Route
kind of
number
the
2.
same swing that Jerica had
Yes,
Jerica's last at bat,
exactly
where
right.
he just kind of offered his hands at it instead of staying back and driving it.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. Jerica's 1 for 3 today. Singled in his first time up. Flied out to left. Flied out to the second baseman, if I may say that. A big high pop-up deep second baseman's back. Went and got it. And this curveball stayed way upstairs to Landry, and it's 1 ball. Well, he's got to get on base, for the Bulldogs are going to lose this game 1.
We've had opportunities. Russellville's had 3 errors.
Yep. Bucher brings it home. There's a shot, chopped foul outside third base, though. 1-1.
And
Yep.
you hate to waste a victory with Jerica on the mound. I
Yep.
mean, when you're penciling in wins,
Yep.
most of the time you can pencil him down as a win.
Yes. Here's a 1-1 to Landry. Bucher's ready up on top. Curveball's in there for a called strike. 1-2. Greenwood down to their last strike here in game 1. Landry digs in from the right side. Bucher worked from the stretch. Now he's up on top. Here's the 1-2. Way outside. 2-2 now.
He's got like a curveball and a changeup that he's been throwing, and we've seen very few fastballs. The only fastball he's seen, Oaf hit it very well to center field.
Here's the 2-2. 2 outs. And right at the shortstop. This time he gloved it on a nice Sunday hop. Over to first. That'll be the ball game. Cyclones going to take game 1 of this doubleheader 4-2 over the Bulldogs. Morgan with a nice 2-for-3 day for the Bulldogs, but to no avail.
Got to have more. Got to have, more two for twos, two for
Yep.
threes, 1 for threes. What do we have? 3 people with hits.
Yep.
So it's got to improve offensively.
And I think Coach Mikado knows that. I told him, I said, hey, I asked Coach, let me get your stats before the first broadcast. And he's like, just show our defensive stats and pitching. So he knows they're trying. It's a work in progress. He knows the bats are a little bit cold, but that's what we're playing here. Get this thing going, get cranked up, and try to get these conference wins. Obviously, they're the most important as far as postseason's concerned. 4-2, Russellville wins game 1 of this 5A West doubleheader. We'll pause for about 25 minutes and come back and get you, 6:45. That's about exactly what it was last week with Greenbrier when we got back on the air. So they'll redo the field, and we'll reset the lineups and get you ready for game 2 here in about 20 minutes. Appreciate you tuning in. Greenwood Sports Center online and the Sports Hog.